Nikon shooters often attend picnics that they're not invited to, and that doesn't make them bad people, it's just that they need advice in life and camera shooting techniques. They have no obvious redeeming qualities in their cameras, so they resort to other means to gain your respect and trust, and that's fine. I will help several Nikon boys today.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
So we're on the Nikon Z6 40mm Tony 2. We're going to switch to the 50mm 1.4 at some point. A Z lens, modern and vintage at the same time. I have a microphone hidden out of shot, and we're experimenting with a different white balance technique today. No more am I custom anything. 5600 kelvins we've changed it to. I was at 2700. I looked at the kelvins in here till I was 5200. It looked okay. That's what we've done. Tube light over here, matching that. White people, huh? So we have several Nikon related questions that will benefit your Fuji lifestyle or Sony mishaps, disasters. And one secret non-Nikon question at the end you won't believe. It'll be disappointing. Please help. Buying a Nikon Z6 for vlogging, general photo, video, etc. But whatever best vlogging lens. Thanks for the 5-star content. As always, handsome man. Stop it. Wait. So unfortunately for you, you've bought into the worst vlogging system possible. For whatever reason, the Stabe not so impressive in here. They have a lot of work to do. Maybe they could tackle it with a firmware, but they weren't built in the fires like Panasonic was. They can run. You can literally run, and it's more stable than a soft walk, an old man walk on Nikon. It's not even close to good enough. Very jerky, but if you would have watched my video where I tested various, just a side rant. Every day someone says like, you should review this. How about you instead just type that thing in plus camera conspiracies and bewilder yourself and notice that I've already reviewed it and I should slap you through my affiliate links. So I've tested the 17-28 Nikkor lens versus the 28mm prime 2.8. I've tested other things that I already forget. I think a Viltrox 16mm 1.8 made its way into my life somehow. Nikon Stabe's not great on the wide end. If I was to vlog today, the best looking vlog was actually this lens, but you're obviously not going to do that. I had it on a super long tripod and I drew a lot of attention that day, but it was glorious. I've never got more compliments on how cinematic that thing looked. It was too good for our own good. If I was to actually vlog on this system, my lens would be the 26mm 2.8. It's tiny, it's light, you extend it way out there on a tripod. This is what you have to do. You're just doing that. So that's a 40mm. That's not bad. You saw the jerks already. If you're just like hand holding and you don't walk, but good luck walking. So like we're vlogging, 40mm is actually wide enough, but the 28 was quite good, but I do believe the 26 is even better. It's a slightly more pricey. Whatever, man, you can handle it. You're in Nikon now. It pays for itself. So it's like 26, and it has some pop. I do believe it's sharp. It's fantastic. You would think the ultra wide, that's your friend. If you're handheld, then okay, the 17-28, pretty good, a little heavy. The 14-30, Tony 4, that'd be fun. Even heavier, I think, and slower Tonys. Explain that. And then like the 14-28, you're now stupid. It's an S lens, it's super expensive, super heavy. You're in the wrong field at this point. Like the answer is Pocket 3 or Sony X3000. But if you must, I would personally go 26. The only reason I haven't bought it, because I know it's a mistake. It's like it's not going to be smooth enough. You could like do a nice little vlog and that lens could get you some slow-mo street videography stuff. It's a decent little try, but Nikon for vlogging, I rank you like maybe 4th. Sony's the best. Panasonic's good, but you're slow-mo, you don't have the autofocus, so I do that in my vlogs. So that's why you rank next, bottom. Olympus, fantastic. Fuji, You're not terrible. Kind of are. You're Stabe. Who cares about the others? Okay, let's switch to this 50mm 1.4, because that's what I was debating. Is that lens worth getting over this? Like, this is a very cheap lens with some pop, so it's a no-brainer. But then you're always thinking, like, a stop, brighter, and a little more punched in. Is that stupid? Is the background blur dumb at that point? Let's see if it's worth it. We got more donuts. I've noticed, I've made a couple videos now on this lens, the tone is strange. If you have these type of things, Christmas lights, from your local dollar store, they're a little weird, a little misshapen. Odd. So like, was that the better shot? Going back to the 40mm, like that had more things in your scene, less background blur, still some pop. We both have the pop, but is it really the better shot? I don't know, a Steinbeck gift, thank you. I'm gonna test this on the slow-mo street videography soon when it stops raining. Every day of my life. What about Z lenses? Which ones would you recommend regarding 3D pop micro contrast? A very important question, very important. There's several, in fact most of them are, except what you want to avoid ironically is the S line for sucky. They suck. They're sharp, zero micro contrast, zero 3D pop. And then down in the comment section, people who spent so much money on those lenses are like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. 3D pop isn't real. Listen, Crab Boy. Just admit defeat. You have bullshit. You're basically Sony G Master lens, Canon RF lenses, garbage. If you want the real pop, you actually have to spend less money and you save on weight. You morons. Starting off, 26mm Tony 2.8, that has some pop. It's got a beautiful rendering. The 28mm 2.8, also some pop. There's levels to pop. Let's not be real here. It's like Voigtlander Zeiss pop, and then Nikkor, pretty good, almost. Not quite, but we're in the ballpark. The 35mm 1.4, we got it. The 40 Tony 2, original, that's the cheapest version. Boom. This one, 50mm 1.4, fantastic. And that's where your quest ends. There's no more. No more, just leave. Hopefully one day Nikon makes an 85 1.4 and a 24 1.4 to go along with this vintage touch, although the fugly tone could be a deal breaker for you. What we don't talk about, like sometimes you have this 3D pop look and then the background is fugly as heck. Some of the really old Zeiss glasses like that, and it can be a problem. But like whatever, you'll find it. You'll find it. Just go cheap for now. Just 40mm Tony 2 is the ultimate do-it-all lens pretty much. Start there. And if you need wider, okay, 28, 26. But like S lenses, you're gonna get the 85 1.2 and pretend that you have a job. You're like, oh look, I have client level results. Here's your invoice, sir. Flatness like a pancake. Criminal. That's what you are. We are now in 6K RAW in a living room. Next to 4K, I realized that wasn't even close to enough for YouTube studio production. In fact, I tried to upload the video and noticed that YouTube rejected it, saying must be 14-bit. I am looking for a smaller camera with 10-bit video. He's not even on 12-bit. Oh, that is sad. Oh, I feel bad for you. That's about as bad as one could feel for someone. Is this a better option than the Z30? He's talking about the Z50 Mark II that just came out that nobody wants or asked for. How much of a difference will I see in video with the 10-bit? Let me tell you, my friend, you will not see a damn thing. If you expose properly and you have the perfect white balance that I've achieved today with a 5200 Kelvin and a 5600 light, because if you put 5600 in there, you wouldn't believe the mistakes. Don't even think of matching them. If you do things properly, Marcus has a Sony a7S III and it's an 8-bit 420. Like, he would go 6-bit if it was in there. If it was in that menu system, I've seen him look for it. I saw him look. It was like half an hour. I was like, what are you looking for? He's like, nothing. It was 6-bit. It's okay. You're not going to see a damn thing. In fact, I'm going to switch to 8-bit nothingness mode, and you're going to appreciate how much better the image is. Although I'll probably overexpose it, and that's going to ruin it. Let's just try it. I have confidence in myself. No, I don't. Okay, so help us, God. That was impossible. Basically, Nikon Zebras, you suck. I used the waveform. I started waving in front of my face. I saw that a guy with the C70 gave me that trick. And I saw that I didn't know where it should be in the waveform because it just goes up and up and up forever until it's blown 1000% and it's still in the waveform. Nikon has the worst on-screen tools in the business. Your zebras are too bright and weird looking. Your waveform sucks. There's no numbers. There's probably several other aspects. Right now, are you seeing it? The difference. 4K in the beginning, that's 12-bit RAW technology in log with red LUTs versus 8-bit bullshit. Rich tone portrait. Come on. Same white balance. If I nailed exposure, we should be seeing that you can't tell a damn thing unless you're like you're one of those color grading people who are like, the blue shadow tint, nice touch today. I love how that third book you put a little red hue in the top half of. Well done today. I love the highlight roll off and attention. So is the Z50 Mark II worth getting over the Z30 if you already had it? I liked the Z30 image. I've tried it in here with the 40mm Tony 2. It was pretty good. Just the autofocus was quite bad. So it's the other things, like way better autofocus in the Z52. And the fact that you can shoot 10-bit in log gives you the red LUTs now. So like you could have the cinema. That could be nice. But like you're not gaining much. You can get 4K 60 with a crop or something. Like it's not impressive by any means or any stretch. If you're going APS-C, like Fuji is the only one that lives there and they're like defending it. The other companies, it's just like a gateway drug into their full frame cameras, and it's not even a gateway because you buy it in your shit lens and then you're like, I'll upgrade to that. There's no path. Everything you just bought is useless now. It's not like you can use any part. So like upgrade to Nikon from a Canon APS-C, it doesn't matter. But it's a lot heavier. That Z50, that's the craziest thing about it. It's like 520 grams versus like the 300 and something of the Z30. It's not even close. It's very heavy for APS-C. You're not getting much. It's not like exciting to get. It's not even that cheap. I don't think I would be pouncing on something like that. All right, last question. We're now in standard instead of rich tone portrait. Is that different and better color science, or what do we see in here? Still 8-bit, like bullshit, but like good enough probably. For YouTube, easily. For Netflix, probably. We just saw Mike Tyson fight Jake Paul. If that's on Netflix, I could be on with this show. Couldn't I? No? Would you ever consider renting gear? I know it can be expensive on some stuff. I think the camera companies are afraid to send you their products to review, as they want yes men reviewers, and there are plenty of those on YouTube. There are many a fish in the sea. No, I would never. Let me explain why. I hunt for deals. That's the most exciting thing, is finding something that's so much cheaper than it should be. It's like, oh my God. Oh, wow. Like this Canon C70. The cheapest I've ever seen it was 5,200 Canadian. And I talked him down to 4,350. I was like, yeah, we're doing that. Oh God, that's heavy. TT Artisan 75mm 1.5 review coming at some point, probably. So the fact that I'm hunting for these deals, like any little $50 cheaper, oh my God. Like I bought a Nikon spare battery because it was $60 instead of $89.99 plus tax. He could have thrown it, dipped it in water, like I don't know, that was a risk. But like I got a deal on it. So like when you're renting gear to try out, boom, you just knocked the price up, the price of whatever you paid. So it's like, oh, plus 200. and then you go buy it new or something and you're the dumbest person to ever live. I'm just savvy with money. That's how I've always been. I'm an only child, and I've got lots of birthday money in the beginning, and I would always save it, and I had it, and whenever my mom needed it, I'd be like, yeah, I have lots of money. Here you go. But that's the most exciting thing for me, like an open box sale plus an extra discount. I remember getting my Canon G7X, and like it was on sale at the time, and then I noticed there was an open box version, and then we had this big talk. I was like, so it's the sale plus the open box, right? And he's like, no, I can't do that. And I was like, come on. And like we're talking back and forth. He wasn't gonna do it, and then I was like, come on, let me double dip the chip. Just Seinfeld reference, and he laughed, and he's like, all right, let's do it. And I was like, yeah. So we got our Canon G7X. So like the finding of the deal is the funnest part. So like renting, I'm a YouTube sensation. People should be sending me things to review, you companies. Mr. Confident in your product, you're not. I wish I was on that team of like, hey, here you go, here's the product, don't worry, say whatever you want. Don't be sponsored by Square Shack. I would love to bring some dignity to the first wave reviewers, but it's a sad group that like just some of them are okay, but a lot of them are the yes men, and that's why the companies trust them with their product. It's like, yes, sir, don't worry. They sign those contracts that we talked about, and it's like, okay, you review my review, and you remove the parts that you don't like, and that's okay. Just give me more stuff. I love money. Just, I don't know, you first wave assholes you're a piece of work. I tell you, even when I'm a multi-Bitcoin millionaire, I will be hunting for deals for everything. Cilantro, that's half off, good. That's coming with me. I just bought organic kale, but it was in the reduced section, 99 cents? Yeah, you're coming. I'll take 5 packs. So it's like, I just always hunt. I remember Kara saying that, Marcus Pick's wife girl. She was like, yeah, I'm not just gonna spend. Like, you think I'm paying that much for carrots? No, they're cheaper down across the street. We'll see you there. So who won the battle today? Was it the 40mm Tony 2 in 12-bit RAW? Was that the thing? Or did the 50mm in that same codec win your heart? Or was it the 6K that did it in the end? I think that's the best. It's the highest quality, but we went to 8-bit, and that was just fine. Who cares? Rich tone portrait? So you're yellow. So what? But now, standard. That's good enough. I might have nailed the white balance. You don't know that I didn't. That's slow. Then, I tell you, Nikon's very reliable at tracking you. Once it has you, it's like pretty good, smooth, but a lot of movements are just like, what the hell was that decision? What are you doing? People are like, oh, Fuji, your lens pulses. They all do it. Even Sony will do it. We learn nothing. That doesn't mean you don't donate the Bitcoin so I can rent gear at top dollar. How you do? Subscribe when I say that?